Shalom. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim HaKakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us is true. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David, and the brother Yashawan, with a quick lesson. And never trust. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right? All right, so we'll start there. And we'll go here. All right? This is Genesis 27. All right? And 41. Don't sleep on this. And Esau hated, right? Who hates who? Okay? That's what the Bible said. Esau, the so-called white man, hated you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and speckled birds. Okay? And you best believe he knows who the speckled birds are. All right? He's wiser than Daniel. He did a diligent search. He knows who his enemy is. You don't know who your enemy is. Never trust your enemy. Here he is. Hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He hates you. Why? Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he so said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then I'm going to kill my brother. I'm going to kill you. I hate you so much that I'm going to kill you. My brother. Don't sleep on it. All right? Now, what are they doing right now? What is this devil doing? What is he up to? Okay? Because we know that they're confederate against us. Right? They, Psalm 83 and 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, with Esau's consent. He's running it. They are confederate against thee. Who? Edom. All these people are confederate with who? With Edom. Edom's running it. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Everybody else is following this guy. And this guy. See, guess what? These guys have the same DNA. Right? These are the dukes, the tabernacles. The tabernacles of Edom, one of them is Amalek. Get it? These Arabs are down with the program. Chinese are down with the program. The Africans are down with the program. Japanese are down. Understand? Down with what? Down with this. So what's the order of the day? What happened in Wuhan? What happened in Wuhan? Salaki. Salaki. What happened in Wuhan, China is this. They consulted together with one consent. Who? Moab and Edom. They got the same plan. What happened in Wuhan, China? A gain of function. Who was that? That was this guy paying out of Fauci's own mouth. Gain of function was going on right here in Moab. What were they doing? Weaponizing what became the scamdemic. All right? So what's going on in the Ukraine right now? The same thing. Okay? The same thing. Now, and see what they did was they introduced it on a small level. How? Well, your boy Trump, he kept saying, well, it's a China virus. He was right because it was a weaponized, it was a bioweapon that they consulted together with one consent on. Who are they confederate against? Who are they confederate against? Are they confederate against each other? Is Edom confederate against Amalek? That's not what this says. It says, for they, all of these, this one, this one, this one, this one, all of them, have consulted together with one consent. They came together against who? Thy hidden ones, Israel. From the big picture looking down, okay, yeah, they might have some infighting here and there. But what does this say? What does this say? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. All right. The days of my father are days of mourning for my father at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Well, here's the plan. Okay. How are you going to do it? Well, we're going to come together with one consent, right? We're going to fund. This guy is going to fund gain of function testing. Where? In Wuhan. For what? To kill this guy? No. To kill this guy? No. To kill this guy? No. To kill this guy. This guy, same as this guy, said he's going to kill his brother, Jacob. Not, hey, we're going to go kill each other. No, they, who's they? Him, 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 all of them have consulted together with one. Because we agreed. We made a pact. To do what? To wipe them out. Wipe who out? Them. Wipe them out. Come, let us wipe them out. Let us destroy them. How? Well, what do we do in Wuhan? What are we doing in the Ukraine? Let us wipe out Israel as a nation. Let us wipe them out. Let us erase them. Let us cut them off. Wipe them out. Wipe them out. Okay? Utterly destroy them. That's the same as this. At first they were in on it. They came with a plan. You're going to hide it from me now, huh? Hold on. Bear with me here. Sometimes you see Jake, you got to show Jake over and over. Then will I, who's I? Then will I slay. What does slay mean? Kill. They are confederate together with this plan. Wipe them out. All right? Okay, and it hits close to home. Let's go here first. Let's see. Let's go the truth. I went to Paul and Adrian here, and this is their Odyssey channel. Yesterday, today's the 16th, Passover Eve, if you will. Not party time, but solemn assembly. The truth about Ukraine, the NWO, and the enslavement of mankind. Okay. Now, this is Catherine Austin Fitts here, and I forgot this guy's name. What is it? Let's see. Carel Van Wolferen. That's his name. Carol. I was trying to find this earlier. I couldn't find it at all. So we're going to listen to a couple of seconds of this because I'm getting at something here. All right. Trying to get at something. And they're discussing the biolabs, right? But there's one specific delivery system, if you will, that's in the news right now. And we're going to go there. Then we'll watch a short page drill. All right, here we go. Ready?
So we see allegations of the Ukraine government trying to get a hold of nuclear weapons. We see allegations of biowarfare labs. Do you know if any of these allegations are meritorious or not? Do you know?
Of course. I mean,
Sure.
we know. I read about the biological and chemical warfare labs in Ukraine a long time ago. There were weird things that happening. They were genetically modifying mosquitoes. So, and this happened in Ukraine, and people were suddenly being stung by weird insects. They were taking a bath or something. And weird, and that could only be explained as something that would come from these labs. And we know that the U.S. has biological warfare labs all over the place.
All over the world, yeah.
All right. Okay. And they get into race specific, okay, which is a point. But that's not what we're looking at right now. Right now we're looking at this. What'd he just say? All right. Heads up, world's largest release of billions of what? Let's watch that one more time real quick. Okay, let me back that up a hair and see what he says out of his mouth, just to make sure you heard it.
In the regime.
So we see allegations of the Ukraine government trying to get a hold of nuclear weapons. We see allegations of biowarfare labs. Do you know if any of these allegations are meritorious or not? Do you know?
Of course. I mean,
Sure.
we know. I read about the biological and chemical warfare labs in Ukraine a long time ago. There were weird things that happening. They were genetically modifying mosquitoes. So, and this happened in Ukraine, and people were suddenly being stung by weird insects. They were taking a bath or something, and weird, and it could only be explained as something that would come from these labs. And we know that the U.S. has biological warfare labs all over the place.
All right. Back to Dabu. Dabu 77. March 13th is a couple of days ago. Today's the 16th. Heads up. World's largest release of genetically engineered mosquitoes approved by EPA. All right. Now, Environmental Protection Agency. All right. Now, what's intriguing to me is the first place that he names in California, right? And when he says Tulare, he means Tulare. All right, listen close.
This is Dabu 7. A heads up, if you have not heard, that we have this biotech company, Oxitec, getting granted experimental use with a permit to release billions of these genetically engineered Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. They're doing so in multiple cities, many of them in counties within California, Fresno, Tulare, San Bernardino, Stanislaus counties, and then Monroe County in Florida. This will be what they're saying is the biggest release of genetically engineered insects in the world. So the EPA approves this despite growing concern raised by scientists surrounding this. Now, they go on to state here that an independent peer-reviewed study from, of all places, Yale, says that when they did this thing failed to reduce the population of the mosquitoes, which was the whole goal. They're saying that there was enough genetic material in what they were finding to show that these things could go on to be more aggressive and even more difficult to eradicate. That's per their Yale study. So those findings do not bode well for any of it. Yet this is happening in these areas, and it's en masse. Thought you might like to know. So I'll leave links below.
All right. 2 and 2 is 4, yeah? Well, let's watch this. Okay. Let's go to history here. Let's go to Pedro. Might have a commercial.
February fully destroy the
Now, Pedro V. Pedro might not be a man of the Lord, but he's on to something. Okay, so let's get this ad.
list of instructions.
Okay. Now it doesn't show it on here, but this is another ad. Let's get rid of that. Okay, it doesn't show it on here, but on Pedro's thumbnail, it reads. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. It reads. Let's see. Right here. World War Z. Okay. What does the Z stand for? Okay. The next human extinction. The Z stands for zombie. All right. Now, what is Pedro now? All right. Z, biological warfare. Z, I Am Legend. I Am Legend sets this up perfectly. It was about a virus, was it not? It was about the cure for a virus, right? And everybody took it. And then what? They turned into Z. Right? Let's watch this. Let me say this real quick. The first phase of this was, hey, bat wing soup, an open animal market with a bio lab, which is right across the street, is what started the pandemic that went on for a couple of years. All right. And the only one that was saying that it was a bioweapon produced in a lab was Donald J. Trump. And they laughed at him. He would say the China virus and the Kung flu and all of those things. But guess what? He was right. Because Fauci himself said, yes, we were doing gain of function in Wuhan. He came out and said that. Now, whatever they're doing in Ukraine by this campaign, what they're really doing is they're putting the focus on all of the biolabs. They're pointing fingers, oh, you had the biolabs, oh, you funded them, but you came in and you took everything and now you're about to put them on all the people. No, what they're doing is they're bringing it out in the open. Watch close. thank I Am Legend.
Scientists and doctors cannot tell us where or when the next pandemic will strike.
Now, how long ago was he the president? This is back during H1N1, swine flu. They brought that back for a minute. These, the bird flu, right? That was going on back then, right? They're slowly revealing, and what the end will be is Z, okay? Z, according to the CDC, all right? According to the template, which is I Am Legend, why did the CDC say get ready for the zombie apocalypse?
Or how severe it'll be. But most agree, at some point we are likely to face another pandemic. A pandemic is a lot like a forest fire. If caught early, it might be extinguished with limited damage.
And we didn't catch it early. They're going to wait until it is kindled. The Most High is waiting. What will it be if it already be kindled?
If allowed to smolder, undetected, it can grow to an inferno that spreads quickly beyond our ability to control it.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of.
I'm afraid I can't read fast enough to keep up with my work.
To stay focused on my...
Slovakia. Shame on you, Pedro.
This is something that we take very seriously. As soon as there's an outbreak anywhere in the world of any disease that could have significant effects, the CDC is in communication with the World Health Organization and other multilateral agencies to try to make sure that we've got an appropriate response.
The claims were debunked several years ago when, in 2020, the United States issued a statement to, quote, set the record straight, explaining the facilities are, in fact, for vaccine development and to report outbreaks caused by dangerous pathogens before they pose security or stability threats.
What in I Am Legend, what was the culprit? Okay. What was it?
But this week, the story was back.
We are confirming the facts that were unveiled during the special military operation in Ukraine that indicate an emergency cleanup of military biological programs by the Kyiv regime. They were carried out by Kyiv and financed by the United States of America.
So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
Sources are telling Fox News today that the United States government now has high confidence that while the coronavirus is a naturally occurring virus, it emanated from a virology lab in Wuhan.
President Biden has ordered a review of intelligence about where the COVID-19 outbreak originated from. It follows renewed speculation in America that the virus leaked from a laboratory in the city of Wuhan. The World Health Organization is preparing further studies into its origin, having previously said it was highly improbable to have come from a lab.
We're looking at exactly where it came from, who it came from, how it happened, separately and also scientifically. So we're going to be able to find it.
And my question is, have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have.
Over the past 2 decades, the United States has been blocking the establishment of a verification regime to the Biological Weapons Convention and refused to accept the inspection of biological facilities within and outside its borders. The move has further aggravated the concern of the international community. We once again urge the US to provide full clarification of its biomilitarization activities within and outside its borders and accept multilateral verification.
And I think that the World Health Organization should be ashamed of themselves because they're like the public relations agency for China. And this country pays them almost $500 million a year, and China pays them $38 million a year. And whether it's a lot or more, it doesn't matter. It's still, they shouldn't be making excuses when people make horrible mistakes, especially mistakes that are causing hundreds of thousands of people around the world to die.
That this virus originated in China, two, that it began through contact with infected animals, or was the result of an accident at a laboratory in Wuhan.
The People's Daily is the official newspaper of the Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party. Today it ran this article: U.S. tries to refute rumors about its biolabs in Ukraine. But can we believe it? The People's Daily actually ran a whole bunch of articles today on the supposed risk of U.S. biolabs in Ukraine, and did basically all of the state-controlled Russian-language press touting the unfounded conspiracy theory.
Experiments were being conducted to study the spread of dangerous diseases using ectoparasites such as lice and fleas. Even non-specialists understand that such experiments are one of the more reckless because they do not give you an opportunity to control how the situation is going to develop further. Currently, according to our Ministry of Defense, the Kiev regime, according to the request of their Western mentors, are trying to clean it all up to make sure that the Russian side does not find direct evidence that the United States and Ukraine are violating Article 1 of Biological and Toxic Weapons Convention. Their biological programs are being urgently closed up, and the Ministry of Health of Ukraine said it has the goal to, as of the 24th of February, fully destroy the bioagents in laboratories. The analysis of instructions in laboratories tells us that the order of liquidations is aimed at their irretrievable elimination. Our analysis shows that in Lviv alone, 233 containers with leptospirosis agents were destroyed, 30 with tularemia, 10 with brucellosis, 5 with plague. Overall, 320 containers. The nomenclature and the excessive number of biopathogens leads us to believe that these work were conducted within the framework of a military biological program. An uncontrolled spread of bioagents from Ukraine, which, as we have seen with COVID-19, is impossible to stop. And if there is such a scenario, then all Europe will be covered by it.
That Russia would manufacture a pretext for attack, and even cautioned that Russia would fabricate allegations about chemical or biological weapons to justify its own violent attacks against the Ukrainian people.
Now I have a question. If they're blaming, this is the biggest news of the war. And if they're both pointing fingers at each other and say, no, you did it, you did it, you did it, what's really going on? Okay. This is all a ruse to do what? To send out pathogens all over the world, right? This is the excuse for it. Okay. But again, what do the scriptures say are the target? Or for that matter, who is the target? You Jakes are the target. All right. When you get into race specific, and then you get into rabies. Okay. When you get into rabies, you're right there at I Am Legend and the Z Factor. All right, let's watch a little more.
Today, the world is watching Russia do exactly what we warned it would. Russia is attempting to use the Security Council to legitimize disinformation and deceive people to justify President Putin's war of choice against the Ukrainian people.
Okay, now, are they really fighting against each other? Or what does the scripture say? And I'm not saying that they're not coming against each other, all right? But is there a bigger picture? Is that the whole story? Is that how this devil works? He's just going to show you what he's doing, and that's what it is, all right? What are they not saying? Here's what they're saying. Oh, you created the weapons. You're going to use them against others. That's what they're saying. What are they not saying? Okay? This devil thinks he's playing 5D chess. All right, this is at the bottom level. The first dimension. What's going on in the fifth?
And China, too, has been spreading disinformation in support of Russia's outrageous claims. I will say this once. Ukraine does not have a biological weapons program. There are no Ukrainian biological weapons laboratories supported by the United States, not near Russia's border or anywhere.
Semantics. You go back and you can pick apart what she said, and none of what she said is what it appears to be. It's everything she said that it's not.
So here are the facts. Ukraine owns and operates its own public health laboratory infrastructure.
Everything she said it wasn't. She put a different name on it.
These facilities make it possible to detect and diagnose diseases like COVID-19.
She just admitted to everything she tried to explain away.
Which benefit us all.
Ha!
Putin.
Who is us all? N-dub. Okay, you're a traitor. All right, and you're on there. You're on Never Trust Thine Enemy. You're working for the enemy, sleeping with you.
He's an aggressor. He is the aggressor. And Putin must pay the price.
Good cop, bad cop.
Imagine this scenario.
All right, it's real easy to see if you're spiritual.
President Biden is further tightening the screws on Russia's economy and warning Vladimir Putin against possibly deploying chemical weapons.
Don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III.
Meaning it's coming here. Oh, it's not just going to stay over there in Eastern Europe or Europe as a whole. He's saying it's going out throughout the world.
His caution comes as the U.S. and Ukraine raise concerns about Russia's potential to use chemical or biological weapons.
Russia would pay a severe price if they use chemical weapons.
Russia will pay a severe price if they use the chemical weapons that we produced in the Ukraine. Sounds crazy.
There's growing concern that Russia could possibly use chemical or biological weapons
that we produced
in Ukraine.
President Biden let a chemical weapons attack in Ukraine go unanswered by the United States.
We have not let anything go unanswered to date, any steps that President Putin has taken to date. What that would look like, I can't give you an assessment of that from here.
We will not fight a war against Russia in Ukraine. Direct confrontation between NATO and Russia is World War III. Something we must strive to prevent.
If you have fever and cough or soft throat, stay home.
Showed signs of erratic and aggressive behavior that led to their escape from the facility.
Deadly viruses in animals that we're studying to see what the difference is. What would you have to do to this virus to get it to the point where it could affect humans?
The CDC is projecting a fatality toll ranging from 5 million to as many as 150 million in the next 6 to 8 months.
Anyone showing signs of a contagious illness will receive special treatment here. The airport's purpose-built quarantine center.
Many of the new arrivals are children who have lost contact with their parents.
Mandatory quarantines have sparked civil unrest. Families are being ripped apart.
Containment is not very likely. Prepare your families, know your evacuation route.
The survival rate is now approximately 1 in 500.
Violence erupted in the city center tonight, the third incident in as many days.
Martial law has been declared in 28 nations, including the U.S. and Canada.
Reactors overheating. You can't stop a meltdown.
Our generator lost its power.
The government
of anything resembling civilian order.
Cunningham's disappearance made national headlines. Police refuted social media.
Blame it on a Jake.
Conspiracy theories that the scientists had stolen a virus and fled.
In 1918, we saw something jump the species barrier, a flu virus.
Viruses don't jump the species barrier. Men take it over there and engineer. That's why they call it gain of function.
But it doesn't happen that often. We need to know scientifically what it would take for it to happen. You know, that's the movie Contagion. It's very, very rare.
All right, there you have it. When we get a couple of scriptures, we'll close it out. Oh, let's go to Matthew 24. This is very, very, very important. Matthew 24 and 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Well, what was the question? Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? We're in Matthew 24, and this is 3. I'm reading parts of it. All right, I'll read the whole thing because somebody can. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. What's going on back here? What was this whole thing about? It was about, well, the Russians did it. We didn't do it. It was their labs. Yeah, but you're taking our weapons from them, and you're going to use them on us and around the world. What does it say? Take heed that no man... What's going on above this staged fight back and forth? What's going on above that? 3 levels above what they're showing you. Here's what's going on right here. Take heed that no man deceive you. All right? We know who the target is. Okay? And I forgot what else was I going to get. I was going to get oh, here we go. 2 more. This is Psalm. Let's get Revelation 12. Let's get that out of the way. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He knows, right, what he has to do. You got to wrap it up. Most High done shorten the days. This devil's like, okay, here we go. We're going to go for it. Now, let's get this. This is the good news for the men of the Lord. Let's read 1. Psalm 91 and 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay? Psalm 91 and 10. There shall no evil, bad times, befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. All right? So stay of good faith and of good cheer. We got to get through this hard time. We got the Pesach coming up at sundown. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. And shalom.